Not a mark on it. Not a mark on it. This is oak. This is hard oak.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to Chicago. It's hot, it's muggy, and we're trying to cut our fingers off with no avail.
Pretty much, yeah. Nailed that one.
Yeah! What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tools in Action. Today we're going over something that we never thought we would go over. It's the SawStop. The reason we went to go over it is SawStop reached out to us and said, hey, we saw you guys did the Bosch. How about you check out the SawStop? Now, Eric doesn't like SawStop, do you?
No. No. Two different things. The saw I like the saw. The stuff behind it I haven't really agreed with, but
okay.
That's different.
But here at Tools in Action, we have to be fair because we're talking about the product, not the company or anything like that. Basically, Eric does not like SawStop because the guy that invented it or something was a lawyer. This is not the whole story. I don't know. You read it up for yourself. And then he tried to implement this technology on everybody's saws, but instead of going to the manufacturers, he went to Congress to trying to, you know, big brother kind of thing, trying to put more laws and stuff on all your tools, which it's a great idea. It's safe, but you know, who wants a Ryobi saw that's normally $200 is going to be paying $700 or $800 now, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think you did go to the manufacturers first, and they just said no because they didn't want to do the licensing agreement. So
Eric doesn't like that tactic. Me, myself, I'm open to it. It's fine, whatever. You know, everybody makes mistakes. That happened. But now we've got the SawStop in front of us. We've tested out the Reacts. They're two sort of different technologies, but they're kind of the same. The Reacts works off of a regular cartridge with
like
a
an
pen.
airbag, yeah, pen.
And when it shuts it off, it basically drops the blade, and the blade is rescued, and you can get working again right away. With the SawStop, kind of the same, you know, it detects moisture. Once it hits it, a contraption here shoots this metal hunk of aluminum up in there and stops the blade instantly. Now, the advantage to that is probably faster than the Bosch.
I believe they're both like within milliseconds, 3 milliseconds or something. They're both pretty quick. To put it this way, they're both going to save your finger.
Right, they're both going to save your finger, but you can't get back to work right away unless you have a new blade on site and a new cartridge. But it is relatively quick to change.
Now the one thing with, it's right, it's about $50 once you, if you set off the Bosch. This one you got to pay $69 for here, and whatever your blade is, whatever nice blade you have on here. The one thing I was really surprised with this is still how quick you can change this and get back to work.
Really
as long
fast.
as you got the blade and the cartridge on you, it's, you know, you can get back to work fairly quickly.
Right. Now, we're not woodworkers by any mean, you know, like the high-end woodworkers that are like, oh, every kerf and everything about these saws. So we're just general tool guys in a garage. We like tools, and we're going over it. So we're just going to give you our first impressions of it. But my first impressions of it is it's one of the nicest table saws that I've ever used. As far as going through the oak, it went through it like no problem. I like the fence system. He doesn't like the fence system, but I like the fence system. And I just like the overall, everything is enclosed kind of deal. Even the guard and all that is just simple to put on, you know? You're always messing around. With this, you open up a drawer, boom, and all your accessories are right there, ready to go. You don't have to what am I looking for?
Fiddle.
You don't have to fiddle around, try to put them in here. Oh, does this go there? Does that go there? Boom. This saw tends to get you up and working fast. Gravity stand, and it's pretty stable. So, personally, I like this saw. It is also cheaper than the Reacts by $200.
By $200, but a lot more expensive than something else, but a lot cheaper than a medical bill.
So here's the thing. Wait, before you go into that, if you set off these saws more than once, you got problems, dude. You know what I'm saying? If this saw just saves you one time in its life, that's worth the extra $80 or whatever.
I'd rather pay $3,000 than not have a finger.
If every week this saw's going off, you should not be using a table saw.
No.
Right?
But guys, just so you know though, even though you have the peace of mind that it saves your finger, you still have to worry about kickbacks on saws. Table saws are still very dangerous. You can still hurt yourself in other ways. So don't assume that just because it has this, hey, I'm safe, I can stand in front, cut the wood, not even worry about it. My first impression of the saw, a lot better than what I thought it was. I've never seen it before. The stand, I think, is a great stand. It sets up very easy and closes very easy. So I was very impressed with that. Doesn't, even when you set it up or take it, set it up or take it down. It's not like it's a backbreaker at all. Quality stand. I think it's a stable stand. I mean, it wobbles a tiny bit, but all stands do. So I think the stand is great. Weighs about 108 pounds. It's 4,500 RPM, and it's a 15-amp motor. It's got a lot of power to it. It's a nice saw. A couple things I do like about it. One thing I'm not too impressed with is a lot of saws, like their back end. This is cool. I like this. I like how this rolls nice and smooth. The fence does. Easy to lock it in like that. The one thing I'm not too excited about is, the back's still open. It moves around. Not a big deal if you're cutting small pieces of wood, but if you're throwing bigger pieces of wood
I
in,
don't
it
think
can
it's gonna
move.
move it.
Yeah, I mean that can
Well,
move.
dude, you're pushing it. Don't
Well,
break
I know,
it.
but when you take a sheet of plywood or half sheet of plywood and you're throwing it through and you want a good cut, it's a little bit different.
And then tell them about this little thing here. That's cool.
It's got this little thing here, which is cool.
No, tell them what it's for.
We'll get into that. Here's a couple things that I do like about it. I think this is a pretty cool setup. So right here is a lever, and this will allow you to expand the table. Take that off. So you can expand it, and there's basically a little storage compartment in here where you can keep, different tools, stuff like that. Keep everything stores nicely on here. The cord wraps nicely. You got a spot for your back right here to keep an extra blade. One thing I did like and notice about this, we had it hooked up to a Ridgid vacuum. I think for dust management, it did a great job. Obviously, there's a little bit of dust, but you get it with any saw. I think overall, this is a
Just have a regular
saw
shop vac too.
did a great
There's no
job.
proprietary connection that you have to go out right out of the store. It's like, I know it's that 2.5 inch. What's the regular vacuum? I think
Yeah, I
it's 2
don't
inches,
even
2.5 inch, something like that. Maybe 1.5. I don't know.
Yeah,
Why would I know?
I don't know. Bottom line is the saw is actually better than I thought. Coming off. What
Personally, I
thought.
think it's up there. I think the top saws right now is made by DeWalt, SawStop, and Bosch. I think those are the 3 top saws right now, depending on what you need, depending on what, obviously with the DeWalt, it has a guard detect system, but it just doesn't work if the guards aren't on. With the DeWalt, you cut your finger off, but it's still a tried, tested job site.
Oh, the rack
true-
pinion thing that they have
Yeah,
for the
it's
fence is awesome. I love
See,
that
I like
saw.
this fence. I like this fence setup. I like the ease of use of this saw. I mean, granted, I don't think it's going to flex, but, I mean, I haven't heard anybody complain about that. Have you?
I haven't watched any reviews of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know if you throw a big piece of plywood or you do something like that, if the back's open like that, you will get some walking
Yeah,
on it.
another cool thing I like, you guys, is one turn brings the blade up.
Brings the whole blade up,
So you're
which is
not
cool.
sitting there for 5 minutes spinning
And show them
it
the bevel. I
1,000
like the
times.
bevel on this. Normally you have a lever that you have to move and then move the whole thing and then lock the lever in.
This
it's nice.
you just
get
squeeze and
together.
put it where you need it.
I
So
think
there's
that's a
30
very cool
degrees,
feature.
and you can also micro adjust it here, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that feature. I really like the saw. I'm very impressed by it. I like it. Do you know the warranty off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, I don't.
Okay, we'll put the warranty at the bottom. Max rip capacity, you guys, is 25.5. Max depth of cut at 45 is 2 1/8. Max depth at blade at 0 is 2 1/8. And like Eric said, it weighs 108 pounds.
And that's with the stand. I think without the stand, it's like 70 pounds or 70 or 80 pounds without the stand or something.
I don't know, man. I like it, you guys.
79 pounds.
The only thing, if I were to bitch about that I didn't like is I'm just getting kind of sick of these. Not sick, but I don't like these plastic miters, man. I mean, the DeWalt used to come with a nice metal one. That was my favorite one. But even now they're coming with plastic ones, So
Yeah.
I don't know. Companies, please just use the extra. Just make it metal. It's heavier.
You got a nice quality saw. I wouldn't
Yeah.
skimp out on other little things personally.
Right. Now, where is that stored? Is that stored in there too?
This is on the bottom, I believe, down here.
Okay.
Down here.
Cool.
And the other thing, too, that you need to know, too, is if you do dado cuts on that, obviously a blade's different with the dado, but you also have to change the cartridge. So it's not as simple as just putting the new dado blades on there. You have to change the cartridge and use a separate spring system for that.
Cool.
So
good stuff, you guys. Let us know what you guys think at the bottom. And I know, like I said, Eric's a little tainted with the whole SawStop thing, but that was years ago. Let's just try to get a clear head. We're talking about the product here, and I think it's a pretty damn good saw. Very impressed.
Yeah, I like the saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice saw.
So comment below, you guys. Have you used SawStop? Which ones do you like? Do you like the React better? What's your favorite table saw? We want to know. Hey, some people like Chicago Electric table saws.
Well, that's fine.
they're
There's a
cheap.
lot of people who use Ryobi and like it, and there's a lot of people who use the
Yeah.
DeWalt and like it and don't want that feature.
It just
I like the
depends.
fact that just being a consumer, I can pick what I want. I'm not forced to pick, Well,
Tools
dude,
in Action, you guys, check it out, and don't forget to send over some Xanax for Eric. It looks like he needs it.
send over more than Xanax, guys.
Tools in Action.
Remember, for more exciting tool action, go to toolsinaction.com.